just for general this and that. And then I'll also take a one request for a free reading, and then I'll be doing paid mini readings tonight if you'd like one of those. So I will get started in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and just pin my little thing over here on YouTube, and we'll get started. Hope everybody has had a good week. Boy, I'm finally starting to find a little balance in my life, thankfully. I am very happy to say. And it does say I'm live, right? Yep. Okay. Sometimes YouTube lags a minute. I just have to pull myself up over here so I can see the comments. It's too small on my phone when I'm recording, so there we go. All right, I will get to the cards here. One moment, please. Okay, and then let me pin that, and we'll get started. Pin. There we go. Andrea, good evening to you, and hey, Cartoon, good evening. Now, Andrea, the protocol here is you just simply say, I would like the free reading, please. And so I'm going to assume that that's what you've just requested and put you down. And what happens is I'm going to do the collective reading, and then I'll do yours. So you need to be here for that. So please stay. And then don't post your question yet. Wait until I call your name, and then you can post it in the comments, because it'll just get lost in the feed if I don't. Got you. See? I got you, Andrea. You are here. Now let me put my little, let's see, where can I put it? Right. That's really in my way if I put it there. There, y'all can see it, I think, there. Okay, here we go. All right, let me get right into the week ahead. Well, I didn't, somebody could be betrayed in a tower moment, but I didn't get the question out. So let me start over here. You're welcome. You're very welcome, Andrea. And Cartoon, the free reading now has gone to Andrea. You will see the comment that's pinned in the description box if you would like a paid reading. But you never know, stick around for this one, because oftentimes this general reading applies to many people in the chat. Boy, that's telling a message already. The cards clearly want to talk. I'm going to stop shuffling and ask the question. So what is coming toward my collective audience generally? This is not a love reading. This is just generally that my collective viewers need to know in the upcoming week or so. All right, now that we've got the question out, let me know where you guys from. Where are you from, Andrea? I'm in Alabama. That's my home. All right, please and thank you, Spirit. Please show me what's coming for my collective viewers. Some kind of a message or communication about something that is disappointing that you might be taking another look at. Let's see now. Let me get a little bit more before I... Good evening, NM. Boy, those were... All right, well, this is good. The sun, I'm not sure if I should take that one. If it comes out again, then I'll know it's meant. And I know y'all can't see the cards, but if I put them down here, then they get knocked off the table. So I'll just show them to you as we go along. So that was the Sun card. So I have the Page of Swords, the Four of Cups in reverse, and the Sun card. Oh, nice. Madeira, Portugal. Oh, my gosh, that's a long way from here. Thank you, Dulce, for letting me know. And good evening to you, or probably morning over there, right? Houston. Oh, cool, Houston. I've only been through there, but, you know, it's not part of the deep South, but it's southern enough for me. And you're in Dubai. Wow, that, whew, all over the world. Isn't it an amazing time that we live in? That We're here having a conversation from all parts, complete strangers from all parts of the world. I just think that is such a cool thing. Now, this is interesting. This is getting interesting here. So let me get a few more cards out before I speak. Kind of see what the general weather is here. Let me get a couple more, please, Spirit. Well, there we go. Let's see. Well, this has a happy ending, I will tell you that. Oh goodness, I did, you heard me say that before I looked at the bottom of the deck. Now, again, this wasn't meant to be a love reading, but it could be. This could just be a family member. Two of Cups is a soulmate of some kind. There, remember that it popped out, tried to pop out earlier. Yeah, along with the Tower. Yes, yes. Okay. Oh my goodness. This sure looks like, hey, Arlex. Yes, Soul Tribe. Amen. It is indeed. I love that. Like minds and hearts and all of that. Okay, so again, communication. Somebody might be checking in on you, or vice versa. You have to apply this where it fits. So something that, wait a minute, let me look here. I've got 1, 2. Okay, just 2 major arcana. This is trying to right a wrong. That's the summation here. Something happening this week is trying to right a wrong, because this is the happiest card in the deck. The sun's going to come out, and it's going to make this disappointment feel better in some way. It could have had, this could have to do with you being overwhelmed with something. Overwhelmed with feelings, overwhelmed with commitments, overwhelmed with new friends showing up. I mean, it could be anything because it's general. In fact, I'm surprised the 7 of Cups isn't here, because it kind of feels like that. It feels like a little bit of overwhelm, but in some form or fashion, you may be juggling. And the reason I think it's a good kind of juggling is because it's right next to the sun. So again, you may have multiple job offers, multiple new friends, multiple friends wanting to take you out to lunch. You might have, any number of new clients coming on board. It could be any of those things. And y'all forgive me for, I'm not looking at the chat because I'm trying to stay in the energy here. Hey, Gracie, how are you tonight, sweetheart? But this is something you may have either this week or may have already had a difficult time making a choice about. We've got basically overwhelmed. This can also mean juggling. Maybe you've been juggling two things, and one of them is just going to have a standout week for you. And it could be some kind of juggling around a decision that you've had to make. And I think whatever this disappointing, in other words, this could be something like, for example, you applied for 2 or 3 jobs, and there was one that you really liked, but they didn't give you a call back. And maybe then all of a sudden you get all 3 calling you back and saying, hey, we want you to come to work for us. So it's something that has felt unjust to you, or this could be future in the coming week or so. It could feel like, wait a minute, this isn't fair. And yet, but you've got all these other positive cards around it. So I think instead of this being like an injustice, it's more like it's not balanced in some way. You feel, even though it may be a good imbalance, like too much of a good thing is still a little too much, right? Because in the end, I think, again, this could be a soulmate. This could be a wonderful new boss that you're getting. This could be you saying, oh, finally, the pressure's off now. I don't have to keep applying for jobs. I've got a brand new offer that I love. This could be you making friends with a brand new soulmate, somebody. This is also very much, because this combination especially talks about filling your own cup. This could be, wait a minute, I just realized I hadn't turned that light on. That's a little better. This could be, there we go. This could be you saying, learning about how to do that for yourself. I need to take care of me first. I need to fill my own cup and love myself first. And as a consequence of me doing that, because you guys know I believe in the law of manifestation, you have to love yourself first. And then when you do that, all these other opportunities start to show up to reflect that to you, to reflect that you're in a good place emotionally. Oh, I'm loving this. Woo! Nice positive reading. Now, again, this could be some kind of a soulmate, that not necessarily a lover, but it could be that. This is a general reading. It's going to put you at a bit of a crossroads. Again, you might not, too much of a good thing. I don't know if you have multiple people, multiple job offers, multiple new friends. I don't have enough time for all this. What am I going to do? There's lots of communication coming in. Now, I feel like this is following some kind of betrayal that caused an upheaval for you. So in other words, this might be you coming out of that dark night of the soul, whether that was financial or health related or romantic. That could be what this is for you, because these are some heavy, heavy cards here. But because the Tower is in reverse, I feel like this has already happened. Now, it could be that this is just indicating this has been, or this, I feel strongly this part of the reading is past tense. I do. I think in the past, this has been very, whatever you've been dealing with has been very hard, heavy burdens. But the Ten of Wands resets to the Ace of Wands. This has been you were betrayed in some way, and I hope this has already happened. Some kind of betrayal or an ending that you were having a little bit of a hard time getting over, which all of that caused a Tower, made you lose your confidence. You felt like, well, I'll never be able to do that again, or have another lover like that again, or have a job that I love like that, or maybe even it could be a home thing. But Spirit's saying no. Because there's going to be some kind of a celebration, or this could also, because the way these fall, you could have, that's what it is. I've already said the words, the cards are backing me up. You could feel a lack of confidence, like I'm never going to have such a great group of friends. I'm never going to have a great group of workmates or lovers, whatever. And it feels like a burden to take a leap and start over again. You feel like you're never going to get, move on past this. But I feel like all that's in the past. Yes, and as I said the words, I love it when tarot backs me up. Because in the past, you felt very, very out of balance. Things weren't balanced for you. People weren't treating you in a balanced way. And Spirit's saying that's coming to an end for you. That is coming to an end. Thankfully. I love that. And for some of you, this literally could be a lover. I mean, you've got a lot of cups in this reading for the amount of cards that's down here. Big cups. Let me put it that way. Big cups. Now, I think what I'll ask is anything, so we know kind of what's coming. You're going to be juggling, but in a good way. We like that. Let me see. Is any advice that Spirit... Oh, Gary's here and Jake is here. Hey, guys. Sorry, I just glanced at the chat. Excuse me. Whoops. Yes, you can, Gary. Absolutely. Follow the link that's pinned in the comment section, or it's also in the description. From darkness, that's a great question. I'm happy to do a reading on that for you, but the free reading for tonight is already spoken for. So you'll have to follow the link in the chat for a paid mini reading. I'm happy to look into that for you, though. Hey, Crochet Queen, good evening, and Arlex, good evening. So what does my collective need to know about how to handle this, maybe? We'll ask that, how to handle this. What is the best way to handle this? Okay, can't make this up. Didn't we already see that card? Yeah. Little different message here. Don't buy into conflict. Just don't go there. Just simply don't go there. This person, because here's the thing. I always look at the bottom of the deck. Excuse me. This is the card that popped out. This is the flyer. This is the answer to my question. This is the underlying story of why they're telling you this. That's how I read tarot. Okay. And this underlying story is saying you're either afraid or you've experienced imbalance, injustice, maybe things that weren't right at the home, conflict, instability. And now that things are coming to light, because you feel this has been unsettling, you have been in a mindset where, this goes back to that Empress reverse, this has made you feel like you simply don't have the skills or the tools to get yourself out of this, whatever this has been for you. And Spirit is saying, oh, but wait a minute. Wait just a moment. The advice is, but yes, you do. This is the Nine of Pentacles. And in this card, she represents being independent. She has her own money. She has her own wealth. She is very confident. She is certainly not dependent on anyone. And if you look, let me get my finger in the right place. There is a bird here, which I believe it's supposed to be a hawk or some kind of bird of prey, because see, she's got a glove on for handling this bird. Now, that's significant because, particularly here in the United States, you're not allowed to just own a bird of prey. You have to jump through many, many, many hoops and legal certifications for I don't know what all to own a bird of prey. So this woman has paid her dues, has learned what she needs to know in order to handle a bird like this. She's very knowledgeable and, again, very confident. So I think that speaks, guys, to trying to, to focusing on putting yourself in that kind of energy, being confident, not letting yourself, hey, Gio, I just saw, and hey, Gary, thank y'all so much for the readings. I got you. So I feel like, in 1 second, let me get rid of that. This is just saying, remember this aspect of you, focus on this aspect of you, not this part. This can also be someone who's a bit manipulative, but I don't think that's the message. You don't have to manipulate to get what you want and need. This is a matter of, and law of attraction too. If you're affirming all day long, I am confident, I am knowledgeable, I am smart, I'm gorgeous, by the way, and I'm lovable, and I'm all the things, this is what you're going to draw to you. You're going to find you're feeling more confident. So that's really the message, I think, for you. Stay in your confident energy about yourself. Don't get pulled down to this poor me energy, because that's easy enough to do in life. We know. We do know. But don't do that. Don't do that. Be better. All right, let me get my deck turned back correct, and then I will catch up over here for just a second, and then I'll do Andrea's reading. So we got Andrea and Gary and then Gio, I believe. Hopefully that I got that in the correct order. Giovanna, okay. Now, what have I missed over here? What have I missed in the chat? Anything fun? Think maybe not. Just say a warm welcome to everybody that I missed. And Andrea, if you will, go ahead and post your question here in the chat. I'm ready to do your reading. Yeah. Y'all, I'm excited. I've been making headway on my studio because I keep threatening to show you a picture. I don't want to, because I'm recording on my phone and it would have to take it down and it'll make you drunk because I'll be all weaving it around the room. But I think what I'll do is just record a short video for you at some point and show you the progress. It's not done, but it's getting there. I ordered this fun, I say fun. It's a long story, but I have like off-white carpet in my art studio. Do not go together, those two. So what I've done is I've ordered this real nice heavy-duty nines. It has a grip back on it. And it's the same color as my carpet drop cloth that I didn't even know existed, but they do. And so yesterday I moved everything out and put it down over the carpet. So I'm making progress because I'm feeling my creative juices getting going here. And I've been pulling out some old paintings and rearranging, and I'm excited. And yeah, because y'all, for you old timers, you know, I'm an artist. I was a professional artist for many, many years, and I haven't been painting, and I want to get back into it. So, okay, Aunt Andrea, there you are. I see it now. I almost let it get by here. Okay, great question, Andrea. So Andrea wants to know if her brother's fiance's true intentions toward her art. And I'm going to ask what deck for you because I don't think it's that one. It's not. Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah, I've got my little salon. Can I talk just a second? Andrea, I know. I'm going to do your reading. So what I'm creating here is an atelier artist, like in the vein of an 1800s French artist salon. And so I've got half the room where it's creative art space, my easel, my stools, my stuff, and the other half is the salon part of it. So I've got French chairs and seating, and that's getting a new rug, and it's it's going to get dark color on the walls. It's going to be all moody, and so it's kind of a fun project for me. Except that I'm having to do it all. So anyway, okay. That's just for my regulars who hear me rattle on. Okay. Oh, thank you, Andrea, dude. That's so sweet. Thank you. I like that. Well, I haven't posted when I first moved in because I just recently moved here 3 months ago. And so I've been doing basic things like getting bathroom vanities operational and things, but now I'm starting to finally get to the more fun parts. Oh, and I'm going to put in a little coffee bar across the hall. It's going to be a fun space. And I was teaching classes. I was teaching art classes at Hobby Lobby in Michael's right before COVID hit. And then when COVID hit, of course, all that stopped. So who knows? I might start doing that again. I don't know. Gary, you did? Oh, God. Oh, my God, Gary. I'm so touched. I'm really, really moved by that comment. Oh, for those of you that aren't here live, he's saying, I watched your mediumship videos from a year ago today, and I have a newfound respect for your work. That is so very kind. Thank you. Thank you very much, Gary. I have intended to do more of those. Yeah, I just don't have enough hours in the week, but that was what I was called to do when I first came out here on YouTube. And who knows, I might do more of them. Now, poor Andrea has been so patient. All right, we want to know, excuse me, how does Andrea's, wait, let me get it right. I want to get the wording right. Brother's fiance, yeah, that's what I thought it was, feel about Andrea? Please and thank you. Well, he's talking about the videos, not my move. The videos, I think the last one of those I recorded was a year ago. That I started recording them probably 2 years ago. Well, I should stop here. This is a very good card. Now, this is a card of choice. It is the Lovers, Andrea. So let's keep going. Let's get a few more. But that doesn't necessarily, it was originally called the choice, but it means a good choice in love. That really is the answer to your question, but let's go a little bit deeper here for you. I know, Jake, tell me about it. It did feel like just a minute ago. I know. Oh my Lord. Now you've got the Ace of Cups. I don't know that I'll want to keep pulling these cards. That's a beautiful response to that question. She clearly thinks very highly of you. Oh, look at this. And there's the Four of Wands, the marriage card. Let me get some more, though. Spirit, anything else you want? That's a wonderful answer. Uh-oh. No, wait a minute. Told you I didn't want to pull any more cards. Actually, you know what? I may clarify those because that's, yeah, let me do that. What is, because that could be a number of things. Because now I have the Devil in reverse and Justice in reverse. Let me see here. You're saying, I just don't understand why some things she says don't always add up when my brother says something else. Yes, well, speaking of adding up, that's what this combination could certainly be. Well, most especially this one. So I'm going to clarify for you. All right. Let's see. What is this? Now, this is toxic energy that somebody is being released from, or something in the past, or something someone is being released from or letting go of. So what is this? Clarify this devil for me, please, in reverse. Please and thank you. Can I say this? Now, this is I feel, you tell me this is wrong. This could apply to her, but it feels like this might be your brother. So tell me, Andrea, who this applies to. This is saying somebody who might not be, in other words, for example, if one of these, somebody here was recently out of a toxic relationship, for example. It could be some kind of other situation, but it feels like a relationship. Or somebody recently has newly overcome an addiction of some kind. This could be saying that they're not ready emotionally. They may think they are, but they're not really ready emotionally to invest. So they may be coming off like an emperor, which would be somebody who's very confident, in charge, you know. He's all four kings rolled into one. So he's seen a thing or two, but he's not newly out of, or excuse me, he is newly out of, and I say he, could be she. I'm just using that pronoun. This person is just, it gives me the feeling of somebody who's too recently out of something toxic, and they don't have a good bandwidth. They don't have a good, and they don't have a good, they're not emotionally confident. They're not maybe even emotionally available because life just wasn't good to them for a while. And it's almost like they're putting on a brave face. That's what this feels like. So who does that apply to in this circumstance? That will help me frame this. And then I'm going to ask this justice in reverse. Now, were they together before somebody was divorced? That could be part of the story. So it wasn't newly for my brother or her, but there has been toxic influences, okay, around my father interfering or my brother having issues with boundaries. Okay. Well, that could be the emperor. That could be exactly what this is. This could represent the father because he would be in charge of all this. An emperor would be in, he would be the boss of everything. I'll say it like that. Now, I realize we're trying to figure out how that applies to your original question. I haven't lost sight of that. What is this? Justice, please. What is this justice? Well, I think that's what this is saying. He's not really back to himself yet, whatever that means. He's not, because the Queen of Cups is somebody she can be codependent. She can be overly emotional or the other direction, almost cold, but usually it's overly vulnerable, not confident, and guarded emotionally, or too emotional, one of those. Now, what is this Justice card here? So that's lending me to feel like, in response to your question, that maybe she's treating him differently because she knows she's sort of got an inside track on kind of where he is emotionally. That could be what that is to me. Versus when she talks to you, maybe she doesn't know if you know that. What is this Justice card, please, in reverse? Because the Justice in reverse can be injustice. It can be imbalance. It can be karma. Somebody getting their karma. You think they both have codependency issues that they haven't dealt with. Well, that certainly could be. Excuse me, y'all. Okay, one more. Can you tell me, Andrea, what her first name is? Just her first name. Don't tell me the whole name. Just her first name. It helps me to plug into her energy. If you're willing to do that. Thank you. Y'all talk amongst yourselves for a moment while I get a beat on this. Please. Don't mean to sound bossy. Just get focused. My squeaky stool. I love it though. I'm resisting to get a new one. It's just very comfy. This is very confusing. I won't lie. I'm going to say something very uncharacteristic for me. And Gary is absolutely correct. Any relationship that we come into, whether it's sibling or friend or romantic, whatever it is, because my regulars hear me say this almost every live. That person is there to show you what you need to work on. It's never about the other person. So first and foremost, I have to ask you, what is this triggering in you that you need to work on? That's number one. And number two, I think she doesn't mean, her intentions are not bad, but she does have a little bit of a split going on in herself. It's almost like it, but it's not manipulative. I don't get that at all. It's just kind of, team's showing up here tonight, but it feels like that's confirmation for me when this thing goes off like that. I don't want to say split personality like it's a mental illness. I don't mean it that harshly, but what I feel like, it's more like she's almost so lacking in confidence, but she doesn't want people to know that she puts up a front, a bit of a front, like she's all that, and then, but she didn't really feel it. And so that to me explains, because if somebody does that, if someone else who's in tune with the situation like you are is observing that, you will see the discrepancy. And so I hope this is making sense. That's kind of what this feels like. Yeah, lying to you is, well, we don't like that. But she shows up with a bit of a mask, okay? It's like she, let me show you these cards, and because I can't stay here for an hour. I want to, but I gotta keep it going here. So there's the Nine of Cups next to the Ten of Cups. Now that's fabulous energy. That's a lot of happiness, right? Except it's falling right underneath the Justice in reverse. I asked to clarify this card. Why is this imbalance here? And and followed by the Strength card and the Seven of Cups in reverse. Confusion, lack of confidence, or too much confidence, strength in the wrong places is how I read that. And my regulars know that I talk about in this deck, this is the Ten of Cups. These people are sitting on a rainbow, which you can't do. It's a bit of an illusion. It's almost like too much of a good thing or too good to be true. And the Nine of Cups talks about personal happiness as opposed to the Ten of Cups being family happiness. So it's almost like she has this story in her head about what this should look like or will look like. I don't know. And I think it's being driven by an imbalance within her. I'm getting into a psychological reading here, but that's motivated and driven by something that's not yet balanced in her. She wants love, and in fact, she wants to give love. Yeah, she believes in that her wishes can come true, meaning falling in love, having a happily ever after. But then there's something where she gets stuck and things are hidden, and this can be secrets and things that are hidden. And what's hidden is that there's underlying all of this is an imbalance. And that comes through, couldn't make this up. Let me show you how this came out. And it comes through, the imbalance is coming through communication, which is just what you're describing about. She says one thing to you and then says something else to the brother. And I don't know if this is saying, I'll be honest, because I don't predict the future. That's not what my tarot channel is about. This could be saying, this combination here, let me show you. Well, it's a whole series here. Well, it just keeps going. Oh, wow. Okay. I can't hold but so many cards here. This could be saying this is not going to be long term. This is the divine timing, but it also means somebody not investing for the long term, which ends up causing a tower. A tower moment is when things fall apart because they weren't built on a good, strong foundation. Okay. Queen of Pentacles in reverse talks about someone who is not stable, lack of someone you can't depend on, someone who's reckless with money, or she may be greedy. And there may be something here in this situation where somebody needs to move on from that, move on to calmer waters. Now we've got a King of Pentacles in reverse. The Queen and King of Pentacles, a divine couple, both in reverse, talks about instability. And the Nine of Pentacles, remember we started out with that? It was in the upright, I think. What was that in the other? I don't remember. Anyway. Oh, here it is right here. No. Pentacles, not, sorry, Pentacles. Wait a minute. Did I get that? Yeah, I did. This is somebody who can be very codependent. And it's because they're not willing to do the spiritual work that it requires, and therefore what ends up happening is a loss of passion, either on her part, on his part, on everybody's part. Yeah. So I'm not predicting that. I'm being very, very clear with you here. I do not predict the future. What I do is pull cards that show a potential trajectory if things are not addressed. So I think that, yeah, there is, even though this devil is in reverse, I think this is still alive. I think this is potential for this, even if somebody has moved on from something toxic, I think the pattern may still be there. This may resurface, this unhealthy pattern of imbalance. And so to answer your question, I think I did with it, looking at the bottom of the deck. I don't think for a minute she's doing this again with any kind of manipulation in mind. I think it's just she's doing the best she can, but honestly, I think she wants so bad to be liked and loved and and want that happy ending, but she's not going about it like she should. And she kind of is one of those people that sometimes she tells people what she thinks they want to hear so that she will be liked. Again, I don't feel it's manipulation. I think it's a pattern that she has gotten into probably since her childhood. Is this making any sense? You do feel she's reckless with money, so that's her energy. Yeah. Hang on one second. Let me. Hey, Matthew, love to you, sweetie. It's good to see you popping in, even just for a second. Thank you for your good energy. Let me just read your back comment here 1 second. Okay, I'm just reading, catching up on your comments here. Right. I don't think she's a bad person either. I totally agree with you. But she does need to do some work. And then you're saying, oh, that would totally make sense to say what she thinks what people want to hear. So that's kind of the bottom line. It's more about that. And know this, I'm not making excuses for her, but know this, I think it's coming from her own insecurities. Okay? Doesn't make it right, but I think that's coming from her own insecurities. And it probably comes, I can almost tell you what kind of childhood she had based on that reading. But I gotta turn my fan up, it's hot in here. I start doing these readings and my body gets hot and I can't. I need air. So I don't think this is, can I just say it like this? I don't think this is about you at all. Yeah, I agree with Gary, her lesson to learn. I don't really think this is about that, but you do have a part in it. Everybody that's in your life, you have a part in how your relationships play out. Her mother, that could be a mother wound. Yeah, that could be. Yeah. Oh, Matthew, that's such a great question. That is such a great question. Wait 1 second here. Even Spirit agrees. I have no devices on. Just you see, I don't have nothing up my sleeve here to make this thing go off. It's a mind of its own. Gary, you're not crossing any lines there. Unless I missed the conversation, I don't think you would. So here's what I do, Andre. Let me give you this advice on how to handle this. Because again, this is a reflection of also for you. This is a lesson for you too. And the lesson for you is, why is this bothering you? Obviously, you care about your brother. You have his best interest, okay? But he has his own path to walk. You can't protect him. So let's bring it back to you. That aside, let's bring it back to you. Hey, Bernadette, welcome. Thank you for being here. Maria is here. Good evening. You found me, Maria. So the way that I would recommend you handle this is look for something good instead of looking for the bad behavior, the incongruent conversations. Look for good. And even if it's 1 out of 10 conversations that you have with her, focus on that for starters. Also, what does this trigger in you? I mean, get down to the core of that, because that's really why there's a gift in here for you and for everybody else involved. So what's the gift for you? The gift for you is, what is this triggering in you? Is it triggering something around honesty, or is it integrity, or people not showing up like you want them to? Or, you know, that's really where your work in this situation could change how she reacts. If you change how you if you work on that wound within yourself and you heal that, then people start showing up differently. She will start showing up differently in your life. That's how law of manifestation works. So I hope that was helpful, Andrea. I know that was a little bit of a round the mulberry bush to get to the truth of it, but I hope it helps. I hope it does. Yeah, his choices, that's right, his choices and his responsibility. You are very welcome. I'm happy. Thank you for being here tonight, and I appreciate you. Okay, let me get a little sip of water. Oh, that's an interesting answer, Gary. Now, before I do your reading, Gary, I want to come back up here. I thought that was an excellent question. Where is it? Let me pull it back up here. Matthew's asking something he's been pondering. Do you think that there are inherently bad people, or only bad decisions that lead to judgments that are categorized as making what we call bad or good and bad? I don't like the term inherently bad people, but I know what you're talking about. So each of us has a soul. And while we're not in the human form, our soul, the bigger part of us, the non-physical part of us, lives over there in the non-physical. Now that aspect, that who we are there, is divine. It's holy. It's whole and holy, and it's has no pettiness and humanness like we have here. However, when we incarnate into the physical body, if there are lessons that have, karma and lessons that we have not yet learned, then that will reincarnate with us. In other words, if that person didn't really do the best they could in a previous lifetime, they're going to probably start right at that same place in this lifetime to kind of finish that journey and heal that. So in that regard, they're not inherent in the bigger sense, but they do bring in the essence of who they are. And if they've been unhealed and unawakened in another lifetime, then I feel like they come in here to heal that. So they'll still probably be unawakened. And then that can be made better or worse by their decisions that they make along the way. I hope that answers your question, or at least briefly. Anyway, great question, by the way. Thank you. You are protected is a Scorpio rising. Well, welcome in, and welcome to Bernadette. Good evening, y'all. Good evening. Okay. Now, so Gary, what is your question here this evening? Because if you posted it, it's way up there. I just saw the orange box come across, so I knew in your name. Good evening, Aqua. Is that right? Good evening. Hello. I don't have a pink hand, but All right, so I can feel Gary feverishly typing his question. I could scroll back, but I think it's too far back to probably show up. Let me see. Oh, wait. Maybe that's it. No, you didn't say. Okay. Okay, Gary, I'm waiting on you. Type your question, please, sir, for your reading. And thank you guys for being here. I hope everybody's had a good week. I was working on some fun projects today because I still have a little bit of renovation to do here, but every now and then I just had to take a break from it. I wanted to do something fun. I bought this because I'm creative, and not just with canvases and artists, but I like to do fun projects. I wanted an umbrella stand for my foyer, and because I'm stalling while I'm waiting for Gary to post his question here. And you know me, I looked and looked at online for umbrella stands, and I couldn't find anything. So I went to the antique stores, and I went on the hunt for something, and I found this wonderful old coal bin. It's tall and square, and it has the most wonderful clawfoot legs, but it had this hideous rooster painted on it. So today was the timely demise of the rooster, fondly named Foghorn. So I got that painted today and did some fun stuff. Hey, Millionaire Man, good evening. So Gary, what have you disappeared? I'm going to have to start and do Gio's reading. I'm not seeing your question here. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. It is here. I had to scroll up a little bit. Sorry, my bad. I'm converting to Christianity as a Buddhist. Third church I've joined and just looking for physical contact. Okay. Question is, while I find my group, like-minded people, how long does this take? I'm lonely. Oh, Lord, now you know how I feel about time, because time is relative to how much, well, it's relative to a lot of things, but it's how much you believe in it. That collapses time. I mean, how much you believe it's already here. If you believe it's already here, then it is, and it's just a matter of you aligning with it and having those synchronicities come and line you up with those people. Do you know, I'm going to give you, and I will pull some cards for you, but here's the thing. I'm going to put my Mama D hat on, because I feel like, Gary, this is bigger. This is not, let me stop my mouth here and get it in sync with my brain. Part of this is timing. It is, even though I said what I said. Because, and I'm speaking to you more personally now, because I've always been the odd person out. I've always been different. I've never fit in. My tribe was one or two or a handful of people, maybe, which oftentimes came and were in my life for short periods and then would move away or whatever. So I can relate to this question, and it is lonely. It is very lonely. But I feel like it's like there's layers to this, is what I want to say to you. There's layers to this. There's, first of all, something in your childhood that's caused you to subconsciously having a fear of letting people into your life. Okay? Whether you're aware of it or not, something in your childhood, some kind of a trauma in your childhood, and it says people are not necessarily safe, or the closer I get to people, or the more vulnerable I am with people, or the more they see who I really am, bad things happen, or they don't accept me, or I'm not understood, all of those things. That is something that I feel is in your subconscious, and that's really the root of what you need to work on and heal. And then these people will just start to show up more. The alignment, the synchronicities will happen more. So I would say, work on those kinds of affirmations. I'm accepted, I'm seen, I'm heard, I'm valued for just who I am. People love being in my company. People love to be around me. I have so many friends now. My soul group is growing. I have so many friends now. I have to have a tighter schedule about how I can fit them all in. I have so many people that want to enjoy my company. They enjoy conversation with me. They value what I have to say. I'm respected. I'm adored. Get on a rampage like that about yourself and do that consistently. That's one part. Now let me catch up with you. Yes, the angel and the demon. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Dylan, hey. Yeah, I'll put you on the list. I sure will. Thank you very much for that. D-Y-L-A-N. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, I'll put you down. So, Gary, I really think that is really getting to the core of what has caused you to feel this way. And that's really the nugget, the goal that you need to dig into deeply and try to heal. Now, back to your questions. I will pull some cards. And by the way, I have been told, I'm asking what cards, that I was corrected. One of my friends, in fact, do I have it over here? Yeah, let me show you this book. Now, to be fair, I haven't read this yet, but a friend of mine wrote it. He's a psychologist, a doctor psychologist. And it's called Conscience, Spirituality, and Religion. So I wanted you to know it came from a viable source, respectable source, when I'm going to say this. We were having a conversation one night at dinner, and I said something about Buddhism, and I was referring to it in the context of being a religion. He said it's not a religion. It is a path. Most people in the West think of it that way. I had thought of Buddhism as a religion because, Catholicism and Baptism and Lutheranism and all that over here, they're all religions. It's not. It's a path. It's a way of thinking. It's not a religion. So I just wanted, I wasn't correcting you as much as I wanted to share that with you. Now, let me get back to your question. Now, look, we talked about this work thing. I thought it was better. I did a reading on that. I remember you asked me if they were going to fire you or something. You got demoted, but you're much happier. Well, that's a win-win. One win. Not a win-win, but a win. Oh, that's cool. Well, that's a good place. So you've got happiness somewhere in your life. That's awesome. I'm glad. Gary, that really, I just want to give you, I want to come to the screen and give you a great big hug, sweetie, because I do know, especially for older people, for all you young people watching, don't ignore the older people in your life because they are trying to maintain the dignity of being older. They're trying to maintain their life with at least half the energy they had when they were young. And they're trying to do it without asking for help or asking for connection or asking, hey, would you come over and hang out with me for a couple hours because I'm really lonely, but I would never tell you that. So if you've got older people in your life, please remember that. We still matter. And I'm speaking on behalf of Gary and all of us. We still matter. I'm so blessed that I have sons that check on me and come to see me, but there are many of my friends who don't have that, and they're just left alone to die. Like, it's kind of what Gary's alluding to, that he feels a little bit written off. I'm putting words in your mouth, Gary, and I apologize if I am, but I mean, that's kind of what I'm feeling when I tune into you in your energy. And right, you at a certain point you just get weary. You get weary of just doing the everyday, putting one foot in the front of the other. Where's the joy, right? Where's the fun? Where's all that? Now, it is there, and you do have to make an effort to look for it, but I'm not going to lecture you about that. I think you probably do. Life's just hard. I'm Saturn. Time is on my side. I like that. All right. Now, I am going to pull some cards for you, though. I'm asking. Oh, yeah. I'm using my special deck for you. You know, this one didn't come out very often. So how do we... Oops, my cards fell over. How do we want to ask this question? Gary, have you tried a church more like a Unity or something that's not so traditionally religious? Because I feel like there might be more of a, or a spiritualist church. There aren't many of those, actually. I think they originated in Europe and England. Am I getting that right? Anybody out there know history about the spiritualist church? Anyway, I'm going to ask. So Gary's converted to Christianity and wants to know if he will find his group, like-minded people. Okay. So you do feel that way. I know I could feel it, sweetie. I'm sending you a big hug, honestly. And I will say right here with my public face in front, I've had days like that too. Like, why am I even trying? Like all this move that I've gone through. But for me, I don't stay there. I don't get stuck there. I have other things, and I pull myself out, and I don't, you know, everybody's entitled to a little pity party. The danger is when you get stuck there, Gary, and I don't want you to be one of those. All right. So show me, for Gary, what will this new future in the new church be like for him? Will he find his tribe there? Why is my nose itching now? Which one do you want? Okay. Ooh. That would be a yes. That would be a yes. But I got to tell you what I'm hearing and seeing. Yes, but not necessarily in the church, In other words, you might meet people there that introduce you to other people, or that they might go to church for the same reason you are, and they might not show those same set of beliefs that they share with you in the church. But then maybe they invite you out to dinner one night, and then you find out you have more in common or something like that. Yeah, if you put the work in, yeah, but this is also saying, you know what I was just saying to you about being positive and having positive self-talk about yourself, because I feel like she talks about confidence, and this is, you know, happy home, happy in this context, maybe like you found your home, but you got to put in the work. And what work is that? Your communication. This is, I know it's hard to see, it's 8 of Wands. Communication, forward movement, that's all very good. But here's the thing, slow and steady. Slow and steady. In other words, don't go in there and start regurgitating all the things in the Buddhist tradition and all, and hoping for acceptance. You're going to have to kind of, and I'm not saying monitor every word out of your mouth either. I'm not saying that. But slow and steady is going to be the way to approach that. Now, let me see here. Yeah, because you feel guarded. I'm afraid you're going to feel guarded about your words. Like, I don't want you to feel like you can't really talk freely. But hang on, let me see what this is. Oh, Agua, thank you. Am I saying that right? Let me write that down. And I think after wait a minute, can't write here. Q, I'm doing this without my glasses. I shouldn't do that. I'm not sure. Here's what I'm going to tell you, though. I'm not sure in terms of inspiration and spiritual insight and spiritual anchoring that you're necessarily going to find what you're looking for there. You might find some good people there, but I don't really think it's going to be your inner spiritual truth necessarily. Doesn't mean you can't get something out of it. I'm not telling you not to go there. I'm just saying long term. What does that mean? Holding on, miserly about what? Standing your ground. Okay, good. Standing your ground. Being a little confused, but then this Ace of Wands comes out. Yeah, making a decision. So I think that this is going to be, let me say it this way. It might be a little hit and miss. One week you might feel, oh, there might be a conversation that comes up and you might feel like these people really get you. The next week they don't. But slow and steady. Don't give up. Don't judge them on 1 week, or maybe even a month. Don't completely censor yourself, and yet don't, like come in guns a-blazing with all the beliefs that you've had and you're trying to fit Buddhism into a Christian environment either. And I know, I don't think I have to say that to you, really. Well, I know, and I love, here's what I respect about this for you and really, really like. You're, oh, sorry, I'm just now reading your other comment about man up. I'm being impatient. Well, we all take turns with that one, don't we? This is the third church. Well, I know. And I'm not, if you're doing it really just for the social aspect and to find some friends and, because you're lonely, that's great. And I think it's a fabulous place to do that. I do. Period. End of discussion. However, if you're looking for people that really are going to share your beliefs and you've been living as a Buddhist, I'm not sure how that's going to be. And that's probably why you're on your third church. Have you tried going to some, like, is there a temple or a, what do they call them? It's not an ashram, I forget. I know you live in a smallish part of Florida, don't you? Don't you live on the coast? Am I remembering that correct? You're doing it for companionship, and that's what I thought, yeah. So, again, there's a fine line between censoring every word of your mouth, which I don't think is the right thing to do because you need to be able to be you, but then also not coming out, hey, I'm a Buddhist and I don't believe in Jesus. And why are you in a church? So you're going to have to probably watch what you say a little bit more than you might like, but that's not always a bad thing. And I don't, again, I feel like you can find some friends there. It's just slow and steady. I'm just sensing if there's anything else. Yeah, Florida Panhandle. Well, see, there is a Buddhist temple there. And so have you tried that? Or look in your local, like me, I do all this. It's not strictly Buddhist. My path is a synthesis of Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. I'm a Reformed Baptist by birth. And I teach classes on that. And so maybe there's somebody in your area. And the only advertisement I do is I put on my little Facebook group, neighborhood Facebook group, I'll put a little post about, hey, I've got an opening in my class if you're interested. And I don't say a whole lot. So maybe you could start paying attention to, or look in your, like the Nextdoor app and on Facebook and your local community groups. I don't know, maybe you've already done that, but well, I kind of think just because you said what you did about you're a conformed Buddhist, and I think you were saying it a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but not really. I mean, you've been coming here for a while, and judging by your comments, you're probably closer to being a Buddhist than a Christian by definition. That being said, I heard this wonderful quote. I think I've said it here before, that was attributed to a nun whose name I never heard, so I can't tell you who it was. She said, there are as many paths to heaven as there are people. So I think you need to go, and if the people accept you for who you are, to me, that's a bigger testament to them as a group than their religion. Can I say it like that? Correct. Well, you're saying Christians are so divided. I would say it's because they're so aligned with the beliefs of that. And good on them. I'm not going to put any shade on Christianity or Christians. I mean, again, I'm a firm believer that we all need inspiration and comfort, and whatever that religion or belief system is that gives you that, because life is tough, then good for you. I'm glad you found something. We all need that. Like I said, life is tough. Life is just tough. So, that being said, I'm not going to try to convert somebody to my way of thinking, and I don't want other people to do that for me. So, case in point, my younger son is a very devout Baptist fundamentalist, but I let him have that. That's his. That's what gives him strength. That's what gives him inspiration. And I'm over here being something else. So I think there's room for all of us here. But it's more about, but to your original question, well, there you go. Yeah, Jesus is your brother, not your dad. And I think that's, in my opinion, we're getting off the subject a little bit, but I think that was more akin to what he came here to do too. That he came here to show us our potential, like this and greater things you will do. Anyway, I'm getting, you grew up Presbyterian, okay. Well, I just feel like everybody's got to find their own path. Life is tough, and whatever, again, I'm repeating myself, but whatever gives you inspiration and strength in life, then good for you. I want nothing but happiness, and I want that to work out for you, Gary. I really, really do. And I think you're going to meet one or two people that will embrace you, not because they want you to fit into the doctrine there, but because they're walking the talk. And, just go slow. But honestly, I think it would be good for you to check out the temple there, if you've got one, if there's a Buddhist temple there. Now, I don't know if that means there's a group. Maybe once a week they have a meditation group, something like that. I'm not sure. Let's see, you're in the Panhandle. I know there's a group in Orlando of my group. I think that's the closest one, though. Gary, I don't know. Was that helpful at all? This is going awry. I just want my friends. I know. Well, I'm glad you never liked meth. No, you were, alcohol was your choice of comfort, right? And I mean, back when? No, meth, definitely not. What else? Anything else you can tell me for Gary, please? Yeah, don't get into conflict with these people. Don't. Kind of like, if you're, check your beliefs at the door, but not that extreme, really. Like, there's an energy here, Gary, and this is changing subjects a little bit, but there's an energy. I'm just getting this message about you trying to right a wrong. What is that about? You're trying to right a wrong. So I don't know what that story is about. Maybe it goes back to your childhood. Maybe your parents said you're going to hell if you don't go to church. I don't know. That's why I said that. Some kind of betrayal. Yeah, probably you. Yeah, I thought you beat alcohol. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, your path. Yeah, I like path. That makes more sense. I thought you had beat alcohol. Yes. It's a beast. It's a beast. Claimed too many of my loved ones. Love yourself. Love yourself. And don't be ambivalent about who you are. Now, that's not the same thing as what I said earlier, watching your words a little bit. In other words, don't come in the door blasting, I'm a Buddhist. You know what I'm saying. But you know what I got to tell you? Yeah, there is fertility here. Yeah, there's fertility here in putting sadness, it's putting things behind you. Yes, I like that. Okay. Just can't be impatient about it, because temperance was in the verse. Just don't be impatient about it. There was one other thing that maybe that card maybe. Let me see. Where was it? Did you have an earlier experience having to do with religion, probably the church, and why you left it in the first place? Like when you were younger, did you have a negative experience of some kind? Because it's kind of giving me that vibe, like that's why you left in the first place, and you're trying that right. I want to right a wrong kind of thing. It's giving me something happened back in the day, and why you left. And I mean, were you mad at God, and He's trying to make that right? Where there's some story here that I'm going in a different direction, obviously, but there's a story there. Maybe I shouldn't go there. That's yours. That's yours, Gary. Between you and God, right? Oh, Jake, honey, no, not you. You're too young. I'm so sorry. Oh, but here's what I will tell you. Don't give up. Don't give up. Even if this church doesn't work out, don't give up. Your tribe is out there. And I know we've said this before, but I mean it. You're here. You're part. You get to come and visit with us on Sunday nights. It's not the same as hanging out and having dinner together and all that, but you're part of my tribe for sure. And I mean that sincerely. And I don't want to promise something I can't deliver, but part of my longer term plan is to start some online meditation group And it wouldn't just be meditation, it would be spirituality and that kind of thing. So maybe that's something we could do in the future too, Gary, that might help fill that gap for you. Masara, the free reading has already been given away tonight. I appreciate very much you being here, though. Thank you. I was going to say you can purchase one, but I'm not sure. I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3 more readings to do, so probably not. Gary, I don't know if that helped you. I felt like I was talking about a lot of different things, but it also felt like they were relevant. Yes, different than people in physical world standing next to me. It is. I know, and that's why I was reluctant to even say it. I do know it's different. Yes. Well, here's another thought too. Because I don't know if you go to the gym or do any of that kind of thing, but even things like, I don't know, pickleball or card group, a canasta group or a bunco group or something that's fun where you're around other people. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a party where everybody's drinking and you're going to feel like odd man out, but maybe there's something there where you could explore as opposed to just church. Jake, I'm so very glad to hear that. You're just too young. Please, Lord, don't go down that road. I'm begging you. Jake, you're just too young and too bright and too much of a big, beautiful soul to be consumed with alcohol. I hope it did help, Gary. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot you are in physical stuff. That's my gym. 9 hours a day in a physical construction. Yeah, then you're right. You don't. I know, and then it's, even if I didn't, excuse me, even if I did have an alcohol problem, I wouldn't want to, or didn't, what I'm saying is, you don't want to just go hang out at a bar. That's not the right place to meet people for you. Anyway, it's awkward. Jessica, I have done the free reading for tonight. I appreciate you being here. These are paid readings. And I'm going to move on, Gary. I do hope that helps. I'm going to move on to Geo now. So, Geo, did you post your question or do I need to scroll back over there and find it? General reading, what's cooking or what am I being prepared for? All right, all right. Let me see here. Well, hang on 1 minute. See if I can get my cards afloat here. They're all over the place. It fell down. What deck for Geo? But I wanted to use that one. Okay. All right. Now, let's see. Well, thank you, Jessica. That's so very kind. I appreciate you. I really do appreciate your subscription. Thank you. And I am starting, FYI, for everybody, new and oldies, my tribe. I'm going to do a test. So this is not necessarily permanent. I'm starting a test for 4 weeks doing a Tuesday afternoon at 3 o'clock Central Time live. So I will start that live. No, you didn't, Gary. You're so sweet. Thank you. No, you didn't. It's not that you drain me. I just get frustrated with myself because I feel like I want to come up with something better, but I got to give what I get. That's my own thing. Anyway, Tuesday afternoon, 3 o'clock Central Time. For the next 4 weeks anyway, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be doing a live. So for people who might be in a different time zone or can't make the night ones, and I will start that reading by doing a collective love reading. Like the Sunday night one is going to be just a collective general reading. Tuesday afternoon will be collective love reading. So we're going to do that for the next 4 weeks and see how it goes. So just letting y'all know. And so hope to see some of you there. Okay, let me get back up here now. Geo, general reading, and what's cooking. All right. Excuse me. All right, Spirit. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Does anybody here have a loved one who crossed in a bicycle accident? Does anyone here have a loved one, a male loved one who crossed over in a bicycle accident? Or who was a professional cyclist of some kind, or a competitive cyclist? Anybody? Nope. All right, well, just hang out. Hello, Cheryl. Good evening. How are you? Happy Sunday. All right, reading for Geo. What does Geo need to be prepared for? What's coming? What's cooking? Or what she needs to be prepared for? Oh, glad to hear that. All good. Yay. Well, thank you for popping in. I hope you'll stick around for a minute. I'm doing paid readings right now, but you might want to go back, Cheryl, and rewind. I started the reading with I always start these Sunday night readings with a week ahead check-in. You can see what the general energies are. Potential and the potential for whoever watches them. Hey, Derek, good evening. So that might be helpful. I don't know. Ooh, all right. Well, I like that. That's a good start because it's in reverse. 10 of Wands in reverse says, I am putting this burden down. This knapsack is too heavy. I'm ready to let it go. I don't want to struggle anymore. All right. Felt like, yeah, I don't want to struggle with something that's not balanced or not giving to me equally. Oh, that's a good question, Jay. I don't know what he did when he was younger. I know his friend was also an addict. Oh, thank you, Gary. All right, we're going off down here. Let's see. Yes, this one that I'm picking up on is, yes. He's here in full biking regalia. I don't know. Maybe somebody will pop into the chat. Come on, come on. Reading for Geo here. Do you not want to tell me anymore? Okay, one more and we'll turn it over. Okay. See, you're reading it. Did this the same deck? Did the same thing to me last week. It gave me 2 cards and then said, "Nope, I don't want to talk anymore." Was that your reading? You've been having a thing with my deck. I think that was. All right, we'll just ask what other deck wants to talk. Well, if I can get it out. Come on, come on. Don't be shy. I thought so. Same thing happened. Isn't that wild? And I went to the little lights here. I mean, little deck like that, which I might do. We'll see if anything comes out of this one. I thought that was you. Come on, show me what's cooking for Geo. What might be coming that Geo needs to prepare for, please and thank you. Laying down something heavy, something that has not been giving equally, or yeah, because you've got the high ground, whatever this is. Yes, 1 and the 5 last 3. All right. All right. Let's see what's happening here. Gary, are you answering? Oh, about your past friend. Yeah. But this, you're not talking about the cyclist. You're answering Jake's question, I think. Okay. Tell me, please. Let's stick now with Geo's question. What else? Yeah, normally that 10 of Wands would be very heavy, even when it's in reverse. I don't feel that energy. I feel like that's going to be going away. Surprised like the 6 of Swords hasn't come out. One more. I knew it. I was right. Love it. What did I just say? Because normally that feels really heavy, but I feel like it is, like I just said, that's something you're letting go of. What comes out? The Devil in reverse. Yeah. Oh, this is good. Yeah, so you defending your high ground. And I don't feel like this is literally fighting people off, kind of defending. What I feel like this means is you living in a way that you're in integrity with your beliefs and how you want to do things. And when you know, kind of like when you know you're right about something, not just willy-nilly or just fighting for the sake of fighting. Well, Gary, I'm going to tell you again, I think it's because here's what you don't realize. Every day that you stay sober, you inspire someone. And they couldn't do it. That's why you're still here. One of the reasons. Geo. Oh. Yes, you're going to be, I'm telling you, this is good. I don't know what this is exactly, but you're going to be putting some kind of heavy burden down, as I said, something that has not been balanced, or situation, relationship that has not been given to you equally, something that you may have had to fight for and fight to keep the high ground about, that may have been toxic at one point. Now you're being released from. This is future we're talking about. You will be released from it. That is fabulous. And it could be because, Gio, did you tell me, are you a Scorpio? It seems like I'm trying to remember. Are you a Scorpio? I was waiting for you to answer. Because that could be, if you're a Scorpio, that could just represent you. But it means someone who is emotionally available, but who is in control of her emotions, but not afraid to show them or to give them or to let others see that. Oh, that's, yes, I thought so. So this is you, but I feel like what this is saying is you being your authentic self in whatever's gonna be happening here is what, because see how she's looking, is what's going to beat this situation here. She's looking over at that. Yeah, I didn't have to move. I didn't have to, raise an eyebrow, and I beat this because I'm just sitting here being me. I'm not saying that you didn't, because then there's this leading up to this. You did. You had to stand your high. I just feel like there's this energy of you being in integrity with you and just not boldly or brassly fighting for it necessarily, although you could have to do that. I don't know. But I feel like it's just you standing your ground and being you is what's going to enable you to put this in the past. Because I think you've been at whatever this is, I'm not sure yet. Something you've been at a crossroads with, something you might have felt a sense of confusion about. And this could even be something like you've had several choices, but you didn't know if any of them were the right ones. I mean, that could be people, that could be jobs, that could be romance. Let me get a few more here for you. That's right, you share my birthday. Why did I not remember that? Okay. We're special. Have mercy. If you can live the life of an 11/11 Scorpio, I'm telling you, God bless you. It is not for the faint of heart. All right, what we got here? There you are. Yeah, Six of Pentacles in reverse from a second deck. This is, yeah, this is people that were treating you wrong. This could have been a romance, but I think you're, yeah, and I say that, some kind of a soulmate, but it could be the romance. I didn't mean for this to be a romantic reading. We know we have to bear in mind the question that I asked, which was what you wanted to know. But this could be saying you're putting that down because eventually, well, you knew it wasn't toxic. But I get the sense this is not just that. I really get the sense it's bigger than that. This could be something at your job. We've done a few readings on that too. And I think you may have, or other people, but I think this is you. Might have had a hard time letting go. Because now I've got we've got the 10 of Wands in reverse, but also have the 9 of Wands in reverse. This is putting up a wall, resisting some kind of an ending here. And that's your card. The Death card. So maybe you haven't wanted to talk about this, or this is somebody, we're talking about future, that you're not communicating with, but, and I think you are having to be, in the future, you are having to really be strong about this lack of communication. In other words, I think this is probably you saying, I don't really want to fight with you anymore, but because for whatever reason, again, this could be, and I say fight, resistance. You're tired of resisting whatever this thing is. Again, this could be a job. I know you work with your family, so it might not be that. But somewhere along the line, you have tamed this inner beast. Because that's basically, the Strength card is, it's represented by a woman who's, loving on this lion who could eat her in one bite, right? but it represents you taming your own inner demons. And it's in the upright. So I really like that for you. Let me see what you said here. Man, yep, this is all about my ex-husband and getting over the betrayal for the last 2 years. See, I didn't want to I know that story, but I didn't want to make it about him. That's for you to decide. So if that's where it resonates, then I have really been feeling more empowered, authentic, being able to be me without apology. Yes, you go, girl. Loving that. And because I didn't want to make it about him, but the cards at the end of the day, at the bottom kind of talk about that, because I think here's the deal. I think you've had to be colder than your nature would normally want you to be, which I think is what's represented here with this King of Swords in reverse. He's cold, he's icy, he'll cut you and not even look back, you know. And I'm not saying you're that way. What I'm saying is sometimes we have to overcompensate, because Scorpios are very, very, very deep feelers. And once you break a heart of a Scorpio, Katie barred the door. Once we cut you off, you know, you don't want to do that to a Scorpio. It's the last sign of zodiac you want to betray is a Scorpio. Just saying. And then this is just telling the story. Yeah, somebody who didn't give to you equally, couldn't, wouldn't, was emotionally unavailable, spilled the cups. You know, it created a tower moment. It forced you to have to make other choices now, and it forced you could no longer invest in this, obviously, whatever this is. But you're coming out of disappointment now. I love that. And so part of that coming out of disappointment is not communication, is withholding communication. I think you're getting over this, yeah, because this was very disappointing for you. It caused you, I think you had been emotionally codependent with this person, if not financially in other ways, which caused you for a long time to feel a sense of instability and injustice. But now I think you're getting, this is where you get your stability back, you get your strength back, you get your clarity back, you get your forward vision back, but you're still protecting your heart. You're still not quite out of those choppy waters. So you're guarding your heart. That's okay. But you're listening to your intuition. I love that. Yeah. So you're just kind of, I mean, this could be you, the Hermit in reverse. This is isolation. And I'm not saying that's for you to take that to any extreme, but here's another card of keeping to yourself. You know, the high priestess knows everything, but she doesn't talk about it. She doesn't talk to anybody in the upright. She knows, but she does not talk. So yeah, this is just talking about at the bottom of the deck what you're overcoming, but I'm loving this. This says very clearly you're at the very end of that. That's what that means. You're at the very end. I can't carry this anymore. And then this resets. And I bet you in readings going forward very soon, we're going to start to see an Ace of Wands, because that's this 10 of Wands resets to an ace. Wait a second, let me turn that. And so I really feel like that's what's on the horizon for you, because the cards that I'd be worried about are in reverse. That's in reverse. This one's upright. I love this. Yes. I think you're going to be spoiled for choice. But now, just again, we'll come back to that. Don't guard your heart so harshly that you can't let anybody else in. Didn't I say something like that in your last reading? I don't remember them from week to week, but I do think that I remember saying something like that. Let's see. Yes, colder. That's correct. Okay, 100%. but it's also about stepping into your career. Because what I do for work is who I am and not about what I do. I could feel that. I kept feeling this had something to do with that. Because I do remember we did reading about some client that you're, and I remember that part of that was you being you and doing it your way and not letting, that's right. I remember that was called something like, was that the Too Many Cooks reading? And that's the energy I get when I look at this card. It's not that you're fighting people off, which is what this person is doing in this card, but it's more about, I've worked hard to gain this high ground and I'm not giving it back. That's, it depends on how the card feels to me as to how I read it, and of course the cards that it's next to. So you have fought hard for this high ground. Wait, let me hold it so it makes sense. Between this toxic energy, I still didn't get it right here. There it is. So you have fought hard to get away from things that weren't balanced and people that didn't treat you and that were toxic to maintain your high ground. Well, that's good. I like that. Let me see. Yes, and I signed them. Okay, yes. So I'm good with my 2 clients. Yay. And yes, I need to open my heart and not guard it, working on that. Yeah. Well, I'm going to encourage you to be patient because it doesn't happen overnight. We know it. We want it to happen overnight. We're ready to get on with our lives. Part of us are, but then there's that part that says, not so much, not so fast, not so fast. That hurt too bad. I can't just forget that overnight. So I think this is fabulous, but it looks to me like I'm expecting an Ace of Wands for you any minute, any minute. Oh, MBB, okay, MBB, let me put you down. And I think you'll be my last reading tonight. So readings will be closed from now on to my mods that are here. Okay. So, Gio, I do hope that was helpful. I think you're doing the very best you can. I do. I see you. I really feel like too you're doing the work. We've talked about law of manifestation and all that, and I think you've really been trying to work on that. I feel a shift in your energy. It feels really good. Yes, yay, on the right track. I'll keep checking in every Sunday. Aw, you're very welcome. Thank you, love, for being here. Thank you for always supporting me and getting these readings. And, it's why I'm here to help you guys, and also to, that you support me on YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I could feel a difference. Just remembering this energy felt different to me. So I think you're getting ready to hit that reset button. I can't promise you it's always the easy button, but they're not the same always. Oh, goodness. Okay. Thank you, Gio. All right, Dylan is next. Now, let me see. Dylan, let me go back and see if I can find your... Dylan, are you here? Please send off in the chat. Please and thank you. All right, I'm looking for Dylan's super chat. No, that was Aqua. He was before that. Or she. I don't know. Is Dylan a he or she? Can I get a love reading through the end of the year, please? Yes. All right, Dylan. Dylan wants a love reading. Okay. Okay, good. You are here. All right, Dylan. And I can't see that picture. It's way too tiny for my old eyes. Do you prefer he or she? Yeah, I can't see it. I can't even. He. Okay, thank you. All righty. Let me put these back. And then I'll find out what deck Spirit wants for you. Can we narrow your question down a bit? Is there someone in particular that you want to know about? Is there a specific something, Dylan? Because that's pretty broad. Or do you want to know like who's coming towards you? Or can we narrow that down a little bit? I can get better answers for you. Oh, and one more? Or two more? Two more. Okay. All right. So let me see. Finish this. What deck for Dylan? Ooh. Okay, we don't use that one very often. I like this one. Such a beautiful. This deck has the most beautiful artwork of any of these decks. And I need some room here. Let me see if I can. Y'all bear with me 1 minute. I need a little bit more room, and I got to put a couple of these decks away. So put these back over here. There we go. Okay, now that's a little better. Thank you. Now, okay, we'll ask that. Let's ask, and then we'll see where that goes. Is there anybody in your energy currently? All right, let's ask. That's a great question. Thank you, Dylan. We're talking about romance, of course. Okay, is anybody romantic in Dylan's energy at the current? Please and thank you. Somebody that's still getting over you? Or you're still getting over? The world in reverse means a cycle that you may not feel is closed, or they may not feel is closed, or they don't want to end. That's who's in your energy. All right, do you want to pursue that, or do you want to go a different direction here? That's okay, Jackie. Thank you. I appreciate you chipping in when you can. I know you're working. Jake's my hero. He works at a facility. I hope I get this right and do it justice, Jake, where he's taking care of people who have mental challenges. And so he's here with us in life while he's helping take care of those people. So if he's multitasking, that's a blessing that he's here at all. Thank you. Okay, pursue that. So you know who this is then, is what I'm feeling. You know who that is. Okay. All right. Let's see. Do we want to know how this person feels about you? We know they're still in your energy. Is that what you'd like me to ask? Because you're going to have to type fast. Yes, that's a yes to me. Do you see this going off down here? Yes. All right. Ooh, thank y'all, by the way, for hitting that like button. I appreciate that so much. Maybe meaning, well, I don't, yes, that is accurate. I got that right. Okay, good, Jake. Thank you. I just think it's marvelous that you do that. So, Dylan, do you not want me to pursue that, or you do want me? I don't want to go down that rabbit hole if you don't want me to. I'm going to ask a real quick question, like, how does this person feel about you? Because I don't know if this is you or them, but I think it's them. So, again, I don't know if this is you or them, because the way we ask the question, somebody that you have unfinished business with, and I don't know who's who here, but this situation ended up, this could have been a long time relationship because of the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. But that can also mean something that wasn't stable, or maybe it interfered with your foundation or your money, your job, your work. Again, reverse the roles if need be. And somebody here got to the point where you just said, I've got to make a decision. I think you were at a crossroads about this for a while, and then somebody said, or you or them, no, I have to make a decision. And I think somebody here felt manipulated. Now, that was either they felt manipulated, you or them, through communication. And I need you to tell me if that was, let's see. It was work related and you got fired. Okay, that might explain this. Because it was either something about manipulation through communication, or that could mean somebody wants to talk to you. That's why I asked that question. Very different meaning. Okay. So that, you know who this is then, that's in okay. It was work related, I got fired, but I am picking up on my work. Okay, well, we asked who was in your energy. I asked romance, though. Did you have a thing? Was this a thing, a work thing? Or maybe you thought about it. Maybe you didn't even act on it, but it was a thing internally, possibly. So what do we know? Okay, so when we know who this is, what do we want to know here? Now that we know who it is, what do you want to know about it? Yeah, okay. I think so too. This is my number one card if I want to talk. Well, okay. Anything else? Oh, geez. Yes, she wants to talk. I'm not sure this person is as stable as you might like, though. I got to tell you that. And this could just be the backstory at work, I'm getting. It could be. Because there's some instability here. There's somebody holding, this is, okay, look. This person definitely, the Emperor in reverse, somebody who feels like they've lost control of a situation. Or they've tried really, really hard to control a situation, but I think it's the former. This is saying there are feelings. This is a new cup. This is, I want to do something new with you. I have feelings. Can we talk about this? Can we talk about this? How about, this is somebody who's got a crush on you, the Knight of Cups. This is somebody who's got a crush, but they're not taking action yet. Two of Wands says, I'm thinking about this. I want to do this, but I'm not taking action. I'm just kind of sitting here right now. What does she want to talk about? I think her feelings. I got 2 cups here of feelings. 2 big cups of feelings. Because at the bottom of the deck, I have the 2 of Cups. This is the soulmate card. Now, if she was responsible for you or you getting fired, if you're, let me rephrase that. If your relationship with her was responsible for you getting fired, then I can understand that, because somebody here is holding on to this relationship. Could be you. But this Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's, she can be greedy. She can be codependent. And we really, really don't like that it's followed by this 5 of Swords. So this could be the action, the past action that got you fired. This could be telling that story. It doesn't mean that that's what's going forward. This is sounding to me like maybe that was the previous story. And I say that because, I'm sorry, I forget, y'all don't necessarily know what the cards mean. 5 of Swords is somebody who wins at all cost. And I don't care who I got to step on to get where I need to be. But then after the fact, I'm really feeling bad about it because now I'm out here out in the cold and I'm got a broken heart. And now, oh, and here's the remorse and regret card. And now I'm feeling really, really bad about this. And then here comes the communication. I really want to talk to you about this betrayal, about this ending. Because can we have a new start? Can we talk about this? This is the Ace of Wands. This is considered the passion card in tarot, in case you were wondering. And that might be a difficult conversation. But clearly they want to talk, but that doesn't mean they're doing anything about it. I got to say that again. Doesn't mean she's acting on it. All right, let me see what you've said here. I'm missing some conversation. So like a fresh start between us possibly coming. She was not responsible for that. Okay, good. It was a dumb guy at work. Oh, she always there's one dumb guy, one knucklehead as I call him. Yes, it was my work that's picking up on that. Okay, they tried to keep me from getting from, oh. Yeah, okay. Because that is what that feels like. Well, yes. I don't know. She definitely want, yes. To answer your question, I can't work around these two. These two cards are kind of screaming at me. This is a new beginning, a new love, or a new beginning in love. Brought to you by the Knight of Cups, who is the knight who would come in and tell you, I've had a crush on you since the day I laid eyes on you. He's the romantic knight. He's the one that he comes forward and he talks about his feelings. But she's not doing it because this card's in reverse. So I have to say, there are feelings here. Yes, yes, yes. And this Emperor in reverse, this situation is out of control, but this is also, I think, her feeling, I'm out of control. My feelings are out of control. I don't like that feeling of being out of control of my feelings. Well, that did take a turn. And you know she has a crush on you. Okay, well, then I'm on track. That's good. Yeah, a big one. A big one. All right, anything else to tell Dylan? Thank you, spirits, for being here tonight. Appreciate y'all lighting that up. Do you see that? Do you see that? I'm talking to it. Thank you, spirits, for being here tonight, and it lights up like a Christmas tree. I love that. Thank you, guys. Thank y'all for being here, and I'm talking to my team, my spirits, whoever's visiting tonight. Anything else you want to tell Dylan? One last card, please. The work dynamic when we worked was hard. Now that I'm not working there, it might be better. Yes, I agree. But I think she doesn't know that how you feel. I mean, I'm just feeling that. I don't have a card, but to say that, I just think she doesn't know. She's not talking to you, right? She will let it be known. You think she would? Well, maybe she just doesn't feel like it's the right time yet. Okay, let's turn this over and see if we get one more. One more. Just one more card, please, for Dylan. One more. Please, or not. One more. Or not. Nope, they say nope. That's it. What I said, what I said. I said what I said, but ooh, something is brewing that's going to be hot. You see that thing going off? Something brewing is going to be hot. I am not making that. You see what? This is an EMF meter. Now, yeah, you can say it detects spirits, blah, 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 whatever. I don't know. But what I think it's tending to do is when I say something important that's on the mark, it's lighting up. That's one way I'm seeing it work. I don't know. I'm kind of testing it. Okay. Holy moly. All right, Spirit. All right. Well, hot tamale for you, Dylan. Hot tamales are going to be served at Dylan's house soon, among other things. All right, Dylan. Well, good luck, man. That sounds very promising. I guess you better maybe call her and ask her how she's doing. I think that's exactly what needs to happen. Yes. Yes, the two of you need to talk it out alone without anybody else around. Yes. I think that's exactly what needs to happen. Thank you, Dylan. Hey, man, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for the reading, for purchasing a reading tonight. I appreciate you very much. I hope you'll come back. That was fun. Ooh, hot tamale. Okay. All right, Agua is next. But I got a cough first. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry. Agua, please post your question and let me know if you're here in the chat. There are perfect. Thank you. Boy, you are on it. Would you please post your question? I'm sure did post it, or maybe you posted it in your super chat, but it would be so much quicker if you don't mind posting that again. I would appreciate it. Afia, good evening. Hello. Welcome in. Thank y'all for stopping in. We're doing some readings tonight. If you just popped in. Okay, here we go. What can I expect for the rest of 2026 in romance? Well, that's two different readings, romance and career. Which one would you rather have? Ooh, it's morning in Pakistan. Thank you for the new subscription. I've already done the free reading for this live. These are paid readings that I'm doing now. But you can catch me either next Sunday night or Tuesday afternoon at 3 o'clock Central Time. I'll be doing another live. Thank you, Jake. Yes. And readings for tonight are closed. All right, let me get back over here to the question. Hey, gang. Yeah, what can I expect for the rest of 2026 in romance and career? What deck, please, for Aqua? Well, you didn't want to say much earlier, but okay. We'll see. Please and thank you. Agua wants to know, what can I expect for the rest of 2026 in romance? I'm going to go with romance first. I don't know if I have time to do both because I've got one more reading after you, Agua. It's one question reading, so since you put romance first, I'm going with romance. But I just realized my chat's not current. Hang on a minute. Career. Okay. Now I had to scroll down. Career. Okay. Well, let me stop. Okay. And turn my fan back on. It comes and it goes. Alrighty. So we want to know what's going to be coming, what you can expect the remainder of 2026 in career. I believe I have that correct. Okay. Here we go. For Agua. Okay. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Good stuff. Good stuff, please. Good stuff. Good stuff. Interesting card. Okay. This typically, the Judgment card, it's a positive card. It's a major arcana, meaning Spirit's in charge. You're not. But it talks about awakenings. I'm not sure how that's relevant yet. But Page of Wands, well, I can see where this could be going in a certain direction. Page of Wands in reverse, somebody who's kind of lost interest. I don't have curiosity in XYZ anymore. I'm not really interested in pursuing that anymore. All right, let's see what else wants to come. All right. So if I'm looking at job or career, maybe you're changing. I don't have those cards yet, but let's keep going. Ooh. Yeah, see, I don't know. What's this one? Thank you, whoever spirit's here. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully that's my team. Okay, let's see here. Yeah. Something about your job is saying we're talking about the rest of the year. You're feeling that you're losing control. Or you're fearing losing control of some aspect. It's getting out of hand. I have to say there's an aspect here I'm feeling that you may be asked, I hope this is not coming from you. It may require, how do I want to say this? You may be asked to do something that you are not necessarily or normally ethically aligned with. This could already be happening. And that causes you a hell of a lot of stress. It threatens your personal happiness and it causes you stress. I love tarot. It causes you stress. You feel you have to defend some kind of ground about whatever this is. And you start to question, if you're not already questioning, is this really where I need to be for the long haul? Is this what I need to invest in for the long haul? Yeah. So what's coming to light for you is going to cause you to have this internal conflict, internal tower moment, meaning everything, it's kind of like a tower is sometimes when a hand grenade goes off and it pulls the rug out from under you and it makes you question everything. So yeah, this is, now I don't know if this is you or the essence of what is happening, or this could be an actual person. I hope this is making sense. So this, if it's an actual person, it could be involving a Queen of Swords. Now, there's no gender in tarot. This represents the qualities of, the archetypal qualities of someone who acts like a Queen of Swords in reverse. That's somebody who's very cold, she's cutting, she's ruthless, she has extreme boundaries, not necessarily healthy, and this causes a lot of injustice and imbalance, and you feel like you're stuck in this endless cycle. Now, the good news is somewhere in here, the sun's going to come out. You're going to have, things are going to be illuminated. The sun's going to shine light on things, and it's going to shine a light that this something here, this situation, whatever this is for you, is toxic. It's toxic. And therefore, you're going to get clarity. That's going to bring you clarity. So somewhere in here, somebody turns on the lights for you. Okay, let me see. You're saying, yes, I am asked all the time to do things I feel are unethical, and I say no. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for verifying that. This has a bigger feel to it than what you normally face. I don't know what this is, but maybe no, I'm going to stand by that. This may be something bigger that's not happened before that's causing, because this devil, in other words, this might be a bigger temptation than you've been faced with before in terms of making a judgment call. The devil is anything that holds us back from being the best version of us, because as you can see in this card, this is a man and a woman, and they have chains around their necks, so they're acting like they're restricted, but the truth is they could pick these chains up off and take it off their neck and walk away, but they're not doing it. So these are things. This is toxicity. Toxicity, if I can talk. This can be addictions, anything that holds you back from being the best version of you. Is what that means. Ah, you have a true crime channel. Oh, well, yes. Well, this might be interesting. Do you know, as soon as you said that, you know what I heard is somebody might try to entice you to hold back a truth. Whereas, you tell the truth, but is it the whole truth? There's some element here about, and let me explain. This is my squeaky stool again. I read cards differently when they come out sideways, and the fact that these three came out together sideways tells me this hasn't happened yet. This is in the works. This is coming, and because he's not only about communication, he's about truth. He's in the upright, he's truthful. In the reverse, he can be manipulative and cold and all the things, ruthless. Here again, this card represents personal happiness. When it's in the upright, yay, I have personal happiness. When it's in reverse, it's just the opposite. And this card is just about the same either way to me as a reader. In the upright, somebody very stressed and anxious and having sleepless nights. And this person is this way because of their own actions, some actions they took. Now, in the reverse, it can mean, I want to get out of this. I'm trying to get out of this, but it doesn't change the overall meaning. So, and then I've got a king and a queen, again, in reverse. I don't like this. I don't like this for you. I'm just going to say I don't like it for you. So be mindful of traps that you might not know you're stepping into. I won't ever hold back the truth. Excellent. I have been working on exposing a person for their crimes against the people he has been scamming. Ooh. Well, that could be, that could be either of these people here. We should have done a reading on him. Well, you ask what's coming. That's what the cards wanted to show us. I wish I could show you like a 10 of cups, 10 of pentacles, and say you're going to make $1 bajillion, but that's not what they wanted to talk about tonight. They wanted to warn you, this is somebody coming to you that is going to cause you kind of to second guess yourself. Or this could just be saying, let me see what you're saying. You're picking up on the people I'm investigating. Oh, okay. Well, my personal email is in the description box if you would like to go further on these people. We can certainly do that. Okay, well, tarot is speaking about these people then. Yeah, I can tell you I don't much like them. Can I say that? I don't much like them. And this guy, he's hiding stuff. I'm just telling you, even though he's not fully in the reverse, that's why I said the energy I did. It gives me the energy that somebody's trying to tell you that their version of the truth, but it's not the whole truth. And when that goes off, that's verifying that to me. Yep, there it goes. Okay. I am correct. Thank you, Tarot. Thank you, team. Yeah. Okay. Let me do this. Let me ask one other question for you on this, if I may, because this is kind of interesting. I'm really curious now. I'm very curious. Let's see. How do I want to ask this question? I'm asking this quietly, so bear with me here. I'm just a little darling curiosity here. You're getting 2 readings for one here because I'm doing this part, but this is more for me. I'm curious if it will tell me. It might not. I'm asking what this person is holding back. Okay, I don't know. Literally the death card. Now, the death card doesn't mean literally death typically. It means endings. It means transformation. But if you're investigating a murder, I don't know what you're investigating. I don't know if you're investigating fraud or, I don't know. That's interesting. What else? Can you show me? What is this person holding back? So that means change or transformation. And let's see. Okay. So whatever this is, the cycle is not closed. In other words, they may be telling you, oh, I'm done with that. I'll never do that again. It's not true. The cycle is repeating, or the cycle is not ended. There is not closure here of some kind. This could be literally, if you were investigating a murder, this could literally be saying, I don't know where the body is, or there's no body. We think this person's gone. We have evidence that they're gone, but we don't have a body, or we're some kind of lack of closure here is what that could mean. So in terms of what they're hiding is, I think they know more about that than they're telling you. Ooh. Gosh, this could be a whole new thing. I think I like this, doing crime things. It'd be fun. Okay. Was there a woman involved? Maybe she was pregnant. That's the Empress, or a pregnancy involved. Somebody was betrayed, stabbed in the back. Yeah, and then somebody went real quiet until they couldn't juggle it anymore, until they dropped the ball, and then this is somebody. It's like I'm hearing somebody being for example, I'm picturing a show, TV show, where they bring the people into the interrogation room and they put the chest out and act all that, and then eventually they wear them down, and then they just spill the beans, that kind of thing. But they're not spilling all the beans, but they're not telling you everything. Anyway, I can't go. Yes, it's his mother. Oh my. Okay, let me see here. Fraud and scamming people out of money. Oh my gosh. For searching for 2 missing children, yes. He and she keeps repeating the same cycle. His channel's taken down, and he started a new channel doing the same scam. Oh my gosh. Wow. I am on point. Well, thank you, Tarot. Wow. Wow. Okay, well, apparently they agree. Holy moly. Well, I would love to go deeper, but I got one more reading to do. But that's very interesting. I'd like to. That was kind of fun going there with. I'm an intuitive. I don't like the word in psychic, but I am, and I'm also a medium. So sometimes I can connect with people that are crossed over. And normally I wouldn't, but I can usually get that information without using tarot. But that was fun. It's the first time I've done that with tarot like that. That was fun. Okay. Well, you are very welcome. Thank you. That was a fun reading. I mean, I'm sorry of the subject matter for you. But as a tarot reader, that was different, and I enjoyed that. I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like I gave you a whole bunch that you didn't already know, other than they're not telling you everything, though, but they're telling you they are. They're holding back something. Was there a marriage that somebody didn't talk about? Was somebody married and didn't tell somebody they were married? Okay, I gotta quit. I'm having too much fun. Oh wow. Aqua, that was fun. Thank you. I appreciate you being here, and I'd love to do that again. That was fun. It's a relationship. Yeah. Let me do MBB's reading now. That almost did not go down the right way. Thank you. I appreciate your patience, everybody, for hanging out with me as I get down the list. You are very welcome. Really, thank you for buying the reading and being here tonight. That was interesting. It was very interesting. And you got my number. If you want to do something, some kind of other collaboration, that could be fun. Okay, let's see. MBB, any chance of a reconciliation with JP? Okay. What deck, please, for MBB? We're going to use this one again. Okie dokie. We will. All right. Please show me yes or no. Is there any reconciliation chance with JP for MBB? Oh, cool. All right. Thank you. That'd be cool. That would be fun to explore. Hey, I'm not right all the time. I'm just not. But, you know, might be fun to explore for both of us. Thank you. That'd be cool. Look forward to hearing from you. All right. MBB, we're asking about JP. Chance for reconciliation. How do you want this? You want there, okay? It does not look good. I'm going to have to say no, not at this time. And I sense that is not what you want to hear. This person is stuck. I could be you, but here's the situation. Don't put it in he, she, it, them, they. The situation is stuck. It's not going anywhere. There's passion. There was passion. But there was also either a lack of communication, or somebody just basically cut somebody off cold, or wasn't telling the truth because there was an injustice here. Somebody was acting selfishly in their ego and pride a bit too much because they haven't learned their lesson. And by that, I mean spiritual lesson. Now, let me see, going forward. Oh, yes, but okay. And somebody had to make a choice, or made the choice, or will make the choice, but you asked the question, will. So they made the choice or will make the choice. I feel like this has already happened, to go toward their own personal happiness. Sometimes, the hardest thing we do is choosing ourselves over a relationship, because sometimes you can. I've just done this year. I had to leave somebody even though I really, really loved him. I had to leave him because he wasn't good for me, and I knew that. And that's a hard thing to do. And that's essentially what this card is saying. The Nine of Cups is, I'm choosing my own happiness. I want my cups to be full, and I think they weren't getting that over there. And yeah, now there is a card here, forward movement and communication. I'm not saying necessarily with this person. That can also just mean this person, whichever side of this equation you're on here, is moving forward, because you finally, you were in your head, or whoever this is was overthinking, analysis paralysis, and is coming out of that and is finally feeling victorious over that in their feelings, and they're feeling stuck, I think. So again, I don't know which side of this equation you're on, but I think maybe somebody tried to apologize and it wasn't really received well. Somebody was not open with their feelings. They were guarded and closed off emotionally. And that's probably what put an end to this. But here's the thing, I just said this a minute ago with Aqua, is that the Death card, yes, it's an ending, but it's an ending so that something new can begin. It's a transition, it's a transformation. So that could have been the choice, but I think what happened was, instead of making the choice to change, this person back here probably said, no, I don't really want to. And then the other person here says, well, then I'm going to go my own way and seek my own personal happiness. So how is that resonating, MBB? Or, yeah. Does that sound like your story? Can you give me a little feedback there if I'm on point? It is, and I walked away from him. I was thinking that was you. Yeah, that's what it felt like to me. Yeah, you walked away. And I think it was the best thing you could do. He does have an ego, and he is emotionally stunted. Yeah. Well, and I felt, because I don't usually share that kind of thing, I shared my personal story, but it felt like very much that you still cared, but you knew you had to walk away for your own, I'm going to say preservation, but your own happiness. That's what it felt like. Yep. That's what it felt like. Well, let's see, you're my last reading. Let me ask for you if there's anything or anyone new coming your way. If you're ready for that, you might not be. Let's see. Give me a couple of cards just because I can. That's why it was so hard. It felt so surreal to both of us when it ended. I'm right there with you. It's still surreal to me, and it's been a while. It's one of those things where at least it sounds like you at least talked about it. For me, I had to give myself closure because he still calls me like nothing's ever happened. It's like, what? I mean, he's not getting any answer, but anyway, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts very deeply. Woo! Lighten up tonight. It's hurting very. It hurts, but you got to do what you got to do. So anything coming toward MBB that we could something to give a little. No, this deck is finicky sometimes. There we go. Not yet, because doesn't mean no, it means not yet. All right, I'm going to say that again because you didn't hear me. It doesn't mean no, it means not yet. I felt that. Don't you try to, don't tell me I'm not right. Because you're still hurting over this person, and justifiably so when you care that deeply. You're still healing. You're still healing, and when you heal, because it's like you're in the place where almost everybody goes when something like that doesn't work out, and that is, well, I don't know if I'll ever find the right person for me, and you kind of go to that place of giving up for a minute. Now, that doesn't mean you want to stay there, but I'm just saying that's kind of how you're feeling right now. You need to heal. You just need more time to heal. You're not yet ready to move on totally from this situation. You're still in it. Obviously, it's in your energy. But you will. But here, right in the middle of all this is, but I'm doing what I know I got to do. I am moving. I am pushing forward despite these things. And I think that's exactly what you need to do. I think you've got it in hand. I do. Yeah. Because you don't want to, what's coming to light is maybe you've been waiting for this person and you got crickets, or vice versa, or you're giving them crickets. And what is happening is you're just not available. Or, I mean, I think this is both ways. You have feelings for each other, but you know you need to, I'm going to say, be guarded about that. In other words, I can no longer give you my cup of love. Let me say it like that. There's just been too much conflict here. And things felt like they were moving entirely too slow for anything. And I think we just, yeah, we weren't good for each other. That's what the bottom line is here. Yeah. So you've done the right thing for you. It's just a matter of, got to give yourself grace and give yourself a little bit more time. You're doing the right thing. You're moving. You are physically pushing your body forward. And it's just going to take a little time for your heart, your dreams, your wishes, and probably your neurological system to catch up with it. That's really it. That's it. I hope that was helpful, MBB. I know that wasn't exactly I don't know. What am I saying? I don't know. That might be what you wanted to hear. I shouldn't say that, but I hope it was helpful. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been a while, but moving forward. Yeah, that's exactly what I felt. You're still feeling it, but you're also still moving forward. And I applaud you for that, because it's not easy, is it? I mean, in the beginning, it's like you're kind of pretending, and you're wearing the mask and smiling at everybody else while inside you're hurting still. But over time, it gets easier, and you think about them less. Excuse me. I'm glad you still have a little hope. Excellent, excellent. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're on the other side of it. I do feel that you really are. I feel that Chariot is the best sign I could get. It really was. It says you're doing what you need to do for you. That's all we can ask for. Well, I hope that helped, and maybe thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for purchasing a reading. I appreciate that so very much. And there's a few of you still here tonight. Just as a reminder, I'm going to start a bit of an experiment for 4 weeks at least. We'll see how it goes. On Tuesdays at 3 o'clock Central Time, I will be doing a live, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes. Well, you are very welcome, MBB. Again, I do hope it helps, and I wish you much love, and I'm sending you a big hug. And, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. That's all we can do, right? Okay, guys, thank you to everybody who was here tonight, especially people who bought a reading, and to all of my moderators and all my regulars. I appreciate each and every one of you. I could not do this without y'all. And I'm going to wish you a very calm, loving, peaceful week ahead. And I hope to see you guys maybe Tuesday, if not next Sunday. So, many blessings, everybody.